Chapter 2, Freedom. And there's nothing like it. Welcome to KetoMom. This is KetoMom, Stephanie Milky. I'm her husband, Steve.
And we are diving into the book called The Pursuit.
This is such a great book. It's super powerful.
It's actually a really incredible book. And so we were going over chapter 2 today. And so here's the deal.
This is a touchy subject.
It is a touchy subject. First of all, if you're brand new, in the mornings we go through a book. We've been doing it for a year. We choose a book, we talk about it, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, or you just need to have an awareness. A lot of this is hopefully giving you an awareness to do something in your life if it needs to be changed. You might be in a place in your life where you feel amazing. Like you feel great, your relationships are on track, your finances are on track. Like I actually just drew this out with my artistic skills.
It's super good. Look at that.
Yes,
Damn,
look at this. I
the
just
wheel.
drew this. So this is what we talked about.
Looks like a star fruit.
I know. This is what we talked about a couple weeks ago. Here's what it looks like, right? It's called your kazone. So your life is made up of different spokes, right? Different areas of your life that are important to have an awareness around. Spiritually, your work spoke, finances, relationships, and your health. And so we've talked about that, but we're going to keep talking about that to give you an awareness of, I'm working on my health spoke, but my relationship spoke isn't great. Or I'm working on my health spoke, but what really needs to change is my work spoke. And so this book is 31 days of different things about your life. Today, he talks about freedom. And I think oftentimes you can read a book and you're like, that doesn't apply to me, or why would I do that? Or that's rude. But it's just to give you awareness of what has worked for other people, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's to give you an awareness of what's worked for other people and just to give you an understanding of, I think you said it this morning, most people are in such he uses the word hypnotic rhythm. They're in such, whether it's good or bad, they do the same things over and over again, to the point
patterns.
To where it's almost like even if they want better, they won't do it because they're in such a rut or a routine that the thought of even going outside of the routine scares them.
Oh, we have a visitor.
We have a visitor. This is Rocky.
Very needy this morning.
So, with that, what did we talk about yesterday?
Well, can I say something about freedom?
Yeah.
I got a funny story. So Stephanie's sister, I'm not going to name which sister, but she was at a pageant this one time. And then she was asked this question.
It was not a pageant.
What was it?
It was a scholarship program.
Scholarship program. And that's a scholarship program.
I won Miss Congeniality of that program.
Well, I'm pulling this out of nowhere right now, but I do remember because there was this moment where she was asked this very articulate question.
What would change the world?
And without hesitation, she said, "Freedom!" And then she ran off the stage.
We were in high school.
It's great.
It would be like world peace. It was like a typical pageant, but we called it a program, and then you get a question asked, and then she yelled freedom. She was very embarrassed, but it was very funny.
Okay, so did you know
We're
that
talking about freedom?
It's our responsibility as a leader to look into the future and to dream. And it's to create a dream that's an inspirational dream for you, for your family, and for those around you. Did you know that? And if you're not dreaming, you might as well be in the grave.
That's what this says. That's good.
Thanks.
All right, so freedom. He says, you're not truly free until you've been made captive by your mission in life. So a lot of the books we've been reading about talks about your mission, vision, what are you called to do? And you're going to be held captive in your own life until you're doing what you're truly called to do. Think it's like a subconscious or a deep, it's like a little feeling of like, I just am not doing what I'm supposed to do. It's like that nagging feeling all day long, right? Mm-hmm. And then you said what? I think you should say that again.
Well, it's right here. But I think I said it differently. If you don't have a dream, you're in the grave already. That's what's underlined.
So in this...
Why does that impact you, though? Like, why is it important to dream?
Well, I think it gives you life. I think it's exciting. It's something new. You're not stuck in the same thing over and over again. And
I like it. So there's some... I'm not going to name names. Names can work for you or against you. I'm just kidding. But the reality is there are some people that we do know in our life, and they have a hard time dreaming. They have a hard time looking forward to future things. And because of that, guess where they're typically sitting? On the sidelines of life, playing small. And I think that's one of my, and I don't even want to say it's a fear, it's a reality that I've seen live through other people, that typically as you get older, you have more experience. And I want to use my older years to be able to pass that on to the next generation. I want to use my experience to be able to pour into the next generation. I want to use my experience and my influence to hopefully encourage those people that are around me to raise them up to become the best version of themselves.
I love that. So this chapter, he really touches on, if we're talking about the spokes, he touches on the financial spoke and the work spoke. And so we said that we were going to do more lives based on these, and we have not talked about finances or work. So I was like, this is perfect. This touches on the kazone of the work finance spoke. And I'm not going to read the whole chapter to you, but he talks about having a job versus working for yourself. And we were just talking even before this, and I said, I think some people can get like frustrated, or they get into this mindset of, oh, I can't work for myself, or I can't get out of my job, or what would I do? And so it's to bring awareness of, here's the deal. Remember, if these spokes make up your life, if you listen to the last book, which if you didn't, it was great. It's called called Kazone. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com. It's our blog, and you can watch all of the book reviews or all of the book chapters we talked about. But in this one, he really just gives an awareness of, most people have a longing for something, or they have ideas or dreams, or they have had them in the past. And he's just saying, here's the thing. Part of having true freedom in your life, part of it comes from looking at your job and having an awareness of who you work for, what you do. Does it give you financial freedom? Does it give you freedoms to be with your family? Or are you solely tied to that one thing and ran by somebody else?
And I think it's okay to have seasons of work, but I truly believe, like, if I look back on, we're 17 years married. If I look back to where we were at the beginning of our marriage to where we're at today, there's a significant difference for working for yourself. Yeah. There just is.
Or having something on the side to create freedom. I think you said this one time to somebody, and I remember thinking about this. So I was having a conversation with somebody, and I said, you really should have a home-based business. We were talking about taxes. So this is a financial conveation right now, right?
We're not
This chapter is about finances. This chapter is about just freedom and having an awareness of, are you doing what God's called you to do in your life? And this person was complaining about taxes. And I said, well, my husband said that everybody should have a home-based business or do something, even on the side, because it creates a different tax information. Like, I don't understand all of it, but this person said, why would I do that? I already have a job. And I remember thinking, why would you not? Why would you not want to do something fun on the side that you love? There's so many opportunities to create an extra stream of income, to either pay off debt, to take your family on a vacation, to do some fun things, but also there's just benefits to it.
So I guess the question I have for you is, what would you do with an extra $500 a month?
I don't know. It just came out.
I love this. I've got to tread lightly on this.
He's talking about freedoms in your job and freedoms in, like, he really hammers home, if you read this chapter, like, he gets into people's... chapter,
it's going to definitely probably rattle most people.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to say that. We both sat here and we were like, this isn't a fun chapter to talk about unless somebody asks you for advice in this area.
Yeah, so this is touchy, because if you read this, it's like he's telling you, I've got to be careful because I'm honoring my wife and how she wants to address this with the KetoMom community.
Well, because we all start somewhere. And like Steve said, 17 years ago, we were in a different place than we are today. But there's also an aspect of, if you're reading this, just so you know, most people that pick up this book, they're business minded. They are, I'm going to have my own business. I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to lead teams. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be controlled by anybody else. That's the mindset of somebody who picks up this book.
For sure.
And so
So we're going to give them the real honest truth, or are we just going to just tell them to someday find this book and read it?
I think some people have to be ready for it. So he talked about looking for freedom. He talked about creating financial freedom for him and his family.
So do you feel like Keto Moms are ready?
I don't know. I mean, it's not like you're ready. It's just an awareness of, are you going to always work for somebody else, or do you think that you could do something to create a larger financial freedom?
So I do believe there's seasons. I believe everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
You have to, right? But I think eventually you get down to a couple of questions. Do you want to be in control? Like, do you want to be in control of your life?
Yep.
What would it look like if somebody wasn't making decisions for you, but you could honestly operate your day and create your ideal day? Question for you. What would your ideal day actually look like? Have you ever thought about it?
That's a good question.
Have you ever put it down? Have you ever wrote out, if I was in control of my day, this is what I want my time to look like? Have you done that? If you haven't, let's just start there. Let's say, all right, I have done that. What's my next step? My question to you is, money, they can work for you. They can work against you. People fall into this love of money concept, but I just want to encourage you. Money is not your provider.
Well, it's a tool.
It is a tool, okay? But most people can get caught up in loving money. I'm curious, though, how many times do you have a dream, you have an idea, you have something you want to pursue, but you let the critics or the naysayers or the people around you dictate your direction in life?
Yeah.
Why do you do that? What would your life look like if you didn't let those critics stop you? Here's why. Are they paying any of your bills? Are they providing for your family? Are they creating your future, your destiny? No, you are. So when will you take control of your life, and what would your ideal life look like? I could keep going down this. I'll pause for just a second.
I was going to read it, but I think that you did it.
I'm going to let you go for a little bit.
Well, that's what he said. He said that exact same thing. He says, why do you let people around you control your life? So Steve covered most of it. He said, what would your friends think? Like, oftentimes we'll go, what do my friends think if I do a home-based business, or if I decide to run my own business, or if I decide to do something totally different, like what would my friends think? We have a girl here, so later today or tomorrow, we're going to do a live with a couple ladies that are here, and they are pursuing better in their life. We do business together, we do life together, we work on our health together, and one of the girls just said, like, she was a nurse and she wants to get out of it, and she said, some people would say to me, why would you do that? You went to school for that. You have a great job. Like, why would you pursue something different? Why would you do that, right? People have criticized her, and she was like, because I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. I want to read this. So you have to understand, like, do you think about what do your friends think? Do your friends rule you? Do they pay your bills? Do they make your decisions? That means you aren't in charge if they do. I want you to be in charge of your life. That means I make the decisions, not a jury of people making decisions for me, approving everything that I do. That is when you have truly found freedom.
I want to go back to this because I feel like this is important. So, the question is, do you want freedom? What would that look like? I know most people who are tuning in right now, you live in America. Where are you tuning in from, by the way? Where are you tuning in from? But do you want freedom? How big do you want to dream? Do you dream big? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for your family? How are you imparting that into your kids? Like, what does legacy look like for your family? Do you have faith in yourself? I think so often because we listen to the people who are telling us, like, how to act, how to behave, what to look like. I mean, you think about how culture drives a lot of the stuff, the news and the media and marketing, how it drives so much of who we are. But are you fully living out your faith in who you are in yourself? Because do you have faith in yourself? Are you dreaming big? Do you want freedom? What does that look like? My question to you is your relationship with God, one of the spiritual spoke that we talked about in KetoMom, how is that guiding your life? I think this is one of the most crucial things, is because if you are walking out your faith, it should create some pucker moments. It should.
Like nervous, scared. I don't know what's going to happen, but like, this is so exciting.
And it's okay to be scared and nervous.
Yes.
Because if you're fulfilling and following through on the things that you were created to do, guess what? It's not going to be easy.
Right.
But I want to encourage you to dream big. Be bold and just
mighty
know this.
Forces will come to your aid.
It's so true, though. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. where in our life, it's like the story she shared yesterday. The moment we stepped out into faith, we moved to Oklahoma. When we crossed the bridge, when she had this moment, we're leaving, she had this moment of, we're actually doing this. We can do this.
We can do this.
We have never gone without. And we may have, if I look back in our life, we may not have been able to live and give like we've always wanted to. We had moments where life was really tough and challenging, but it wasn't impossible. And we always had enough to get by. We were super resourceful in times that we needed extra finances. We got super resourceful when things like the AC went out and the tiles started falling off the house, and then our house flooded.
That was like in 3 months of us moving to Oklahoma.
But we never went without.
Was breaking. Right?
We never went without, and we always had enough. And so I just want to encourage you. Maybe today's the day where you're like, you know what? I believe in God. I have faith, but I'm ready to level up. I would just say spend some time with God today and say, all right, Lord, Father, what do you have for me? Like, what are my dreams? Where am I falling short? And it's not in a condemnation standpoint.
Right.
It's in a place of like, I want to level up my life. I want to create a legacy that makes a difference and that truly matters.
Yep.
Because your life matters. Like every choice that you make every day, it truly matters and it makes a difference. I mean, as excited as Mr. Rocky is about living life, I want you to be excited because it does not serve anybody playing small. I hope you understand that. Like getting caught up in the hypnotic rhythm of like just not living out your ideal day or living out your ideal life.
Right.
Don't do it.
Do it.
You matter too much.
Yes.
You do. Like the people who are in your life, the things that you can create. You've got a skill and a gift and a technique that only you have. And if you're not using it to its full potential.
It's true. It's good.
We're missing out. We're missing out. So we wanted to just come on here and we wanted to encourage you to dream big, to know that freedom is something that to never take for granted. And at the same time, if you put in the work and if you stay consistent, you don't mess up good for perfect. And if you truly pursue your dream, guess what? Don't let anybody steal it from you. And when you look back, you'll say, oh my goodness, I never realized how much I could actually accomplish by just being faithful to the small things. So that's what I want to encourage you with today.
That's it. I think it was great. So here's the book that we're doing. If you're just tuning in, it's a great book. It's 31 short chapters of really, I don't know how he explains it, like success, thoughts, techniques, awareness, things to go after. Some of it's based on money, some of it's based on health. And so we'll just go 31 days. Some things might stretch you, some things might make you like, and some are really exciting. It all should be exciting. It might just be, you've never heard of it before.
Can I share one more thought?
Yeah.
I saw a comment pop up on here. I didn't catch the name, but it said, I wish I had your guts. And it makes me think if, I don't know what my guts are like, but I would say this. I do know what happened to me this morning. I woke up at 5 o'clock and I had an experience that was like none other. I was a little overwhelmed when I woke up this morning. We're pushing into some new territory, and whenever you're taking territory, guess what? You feel a little resistance. Territory could be anything. How do I want to phrase this? I would just say this.
We're doing some different
new
investments.
things in your life.
Things we've never done.
Things you've never done. That's new territory. It could be, that's the greatest thing is that your kazone, your calling, your dreams, those are yours. I'm not imparting my dreams onto you.
So we're doing some new things we've never done.
So when you do things that you've never done, it can be a little scary.
You don't know what to do.
It can be a little
scary. You're
scary.
walking every day going, all right. Yeah.
So this morning I woke up and I thought, all right, how am I going to figure this out? And I was sitting in bed. It's 5:15 in the morning, 5:11 in the morning. I'm sitting there thinking, Stephanie's sleeping. It's pure silence in the house. And my mind is just racing with ideas and things that I want to try and different, but it was more negative. Like it was like, how can I figure this out? And it wasn't I wasn't feeling like I was
You were looking at the negative aspect of like, how is this going to happen? What if it doesn't happen? Right?
It was more super practical of like, all right, how can I create this step-by-step system? Because that's something that I actually love to do. So I was like really trying to figure this out. And so I was like, all right, I got to get out of this spot. Like I'm laying down, it's dark. I'm like, this is not working for me. So I get up 5:15 now. I'm sitting there for 4 minutes thinking. I get up and I come out to the living room and it's still pitch dark and it's quiet. Is this okay that I'm telling this story? This was crazy. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm in an upright position and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just have my quiet time and I'm going to figure this out. Okay.
If any of you meditated with us in the last little bit, looking at the lake and you got to hear the voice, that's what he was doing.
I did something.
First time.
It was different though. It was different.
Okay.
You've never even done this.
But it's not like the...
So I took on this breathing technique, right?
Okay.
Breathing is so important.
Yeah.
And I really want to run people through, like the people who are coming to visit us for this event. Today and tomorrow,
can do it with them this
I really
morning.
want to put them through this technique. So I spent an hour working through this different meditation, and honestly, I did this breath work, and it felt like I did a CrossFit workout in 6 minutes. So if you've ever done like a high intense workout before, like you see Stephanie, she's getting super fit. She's doing some super challenging workouts. And I did this 6-minute breathing routine, and no lie, like I was sweating and I was like core focused. It was insane. So then I went into this 40 minutes of reflective time, and no lie, like I thought to myself, it's all about envisioning. So this is what I want to talk about. Like we're talking about the pursuit. You got a dream and that calling and that kazone. Okay. So it's about future pacing. We're going to learn about that in our event today.
Yep.
But if you can future pace and you can see yourself in a certain spot or doing a certain thing, or we challenged you a couple of days ago to go to a new environment and take it all in, see what it feels like. And if you can get your mind to the place to where you're future pacing your dream, your idea, that new territory, the new thing that you're after, if you can future pace it and you can physically see yourself there, what is a natural response is because your thinking becomes things. It becomes the activity and the actions that you pursue out of it, right? So I had to put myself in a different mind frame. Mm-hmm. I physically got myself there. I did, through this quiet time. And then the way that I felt afterwards, I was like an emotional rocket hit.
You took a picture of his face and he showed me this morning, and I was like, what were you crying about?
And out of that, I had
the most cry face
I had
ever.
2 pages
of
of full-on notes. I'm not going to. I had 2 pages of full-on notes of ideas and emotions of things that I was grateful for, things that I was blessed to have. And it truly gave me a different mindset. So it transformed my mindset. And it's not just thinking, but it's also the doing. So by 7 o'clock, Stephanie was up, rolling, ready to rock the day. I had already knocked out the entire list of things that I needed to create and do in that hour. It was crazy. So 5:15, woke up, changed my state, changed my pattern, had a renewed mindset. 6:15-ish, because it was an hour of this thing. By 6:15 to 7, when she rolled up ready to rock and roll, guess what? I had already hammered out a massive list of stuff. And I just want to encourage you. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. So
what's possible?
Anything that you put your mind to.
Yes.
Future pace, dream, think big, be bold, and know that mighty forces will come to your aid. That may sound like, but the reality is your mindset matters. That's why we've completely flipped the script with KetoMom. And yes, you will find the recipes. Yes, you will find the foods. You will find the mom fuel. You will find all of the tactics and the secrets to be successful in life. But mindset
that's not changing people's lives. A recipe isn't changing people's lives. It's mindset and having an awareness of so many other things in your life. And then the food will fall into place.
So
it's so good.
I hope that was an encouragement to you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that this time was of service to you.
Yes.
Hopefully we honored your time with this information. If there's anybody that you think needs to hear this, please tag them down below. Please share this page with them. We're getting super close to Stephanie's big milestone, which
Yep.
I'm super proud of her about. We're going to have a celebration.
Not just mine.
Well, it's true, but this is you've created this. You're pretty amazing. So thank you to each and every one of you who've tuned in. Your presence does matter.
Yes.
Sharing is caring, and we appreciate you being here.
Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.